Welcome back, Kitchen Table Wargaming friends and fans. We are going to play a combat patrol game today with, we're actually going to try and showcase, I'll Blair over, we're going to do a Pain and Piety showcase box, but it's not exactly what comes in the box. We kind of tweaked our list a little bit. However, I just got and painted and finished Lelith Hesperax, so gotta have a game with her in it. I have a Reaper. This is all going to be Cult of Strife, so all of the units in there. I love that the Reaper can go with the Witch Cult now. I have a Venom. It does have the Grizzly trophies, which Chain Snares, which I'll probably forget to use if it even comes up, but it's fun, and I will try my best to remember it today. I've got 7 witches with a shard net, and then I've got 5 witches with a shard net, and that is either 500 points on the nose or it's very, very close to 500 points. So that's my list. And then we'll come over here, we'll take a look at the sisters. They're all Bloody Rose, you said?
Yeah.
Yes? Alright, so we know what these are. The lovely, friendly, like to give hugs, Repentia. Mortifier in the back? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. And then these are regular sisters?
Yes.
Okay. Canoness, is she scary? Like extra
Yeah, she's
stuff?
scary.
Does she have the relics and all that
She
too?
has a relic chain sword.
Hey.
It gives like 3 extra attacks.
It's unnecessary.
It's fun.
No. And then these look like, what do you call them again?
Retributors.
Retributors. I knew it was an R. And they all have multi-meltas?
4 multi-meltas, 2 bolters, and then 1 simulacrum, which lets me use an extra miracle die on the unit per phase. And then 2 babies.
2 babies. Oh boy. Alright, well, that's always weird at Combat Patrol. I feel like that's a lot more stuff on her side than on my side. Well, yeah, I have no idea. So you will see secondaries coming up on the screen in a little bit. We've already rolled up for the the mission. So here it is. This was called Incisive Attack. So you've got 4 objective markers, 1 in each player's deployment zone. So there's 1 in either end of it over there, and then you've got 2 in the center. This mission does allow you to tag an objective and then leave it, and you still own it until your opponent takes it back from you, which will be spicy because that means we don't have to sit around and hold things. Also spicy, the mission specific secondary is Surgical Assault, which allows you to, well, not allows you, but if you get your opponent's objective marker, you score 5 points at the end of your turn. Very tasty. I am going to try that. Blair elected not to. She just said, well, you have to come and take it from me, so I'll just kill you there. I said, fine. I'll see how it is. Yeah, and you'll see the rest of the secondaries coming up. But that's the mission. This is in the Eternal War mission for combat patrols. I think they're in the core rulebook. But yeah, so that's it. We will do deployment and such shenanigans, and then we'll be back in a minute to show you what we did, where we're at, and then we'll roll for first turn. Alright folks, we are deployed. I won the roll-off for deployment, so I'll pick the side that I was on because they're basically similar or the same. Got 5 witches and the Venom. It's hidden from the scary Retributors at the other end of the board. The 7 witches over here just touching this so I can raise a banner. The Reaper is back here being nice and hidden, and Lelith is down there as well, as close to the edge of the deployment zone as possible, and still out of line of sight because I'm afraid of sisters shooting. Then on this side, counter deployed with some Repentia. Could be a bit of a problem for me. Regular sisters are back here. I call them regular sisters. They all have bolters or storm bolt. They have bolters? Bolters, yeah. Okay. And yeah, they're still scary. But yes, Canoness, Mortifier. And then this is what's really truly scary. That's definitely the problem. So that is it. We are deployed. I forgot to pick up a die to roll for the roll-off, but I can do that quick like. So, Blair, you can go ahead and roll first anyways, because you're the guest. Oh, it's a 5.
Uh-oh.
I rolled way off the table and it's just a 2. So, that means sisters will have the first turn. So here we go. Going into the top of turn 1, Sisters of Battle. And I hope I survive. Well, hold on to your hats, folks. Sisters turn 1 is done. Big boy came out to play. I don't think they did anything. They just sat still?
Yep.
Yeah, they did. Canoness moved over. Sisters came out here and raised the banner. Repentia came up. She did roll, I will say, a lovely 6 for her miracle die. So I was disappointed by that because I was afraid. And she measured to be cheeky of the super crazy advance in charge Repentia, 12 inches. But I luckily deployed Lelith just 13 inches outside of that, even with the advance of a 6. So I was proud of myself for accidentally doing that. So that is all that happened for that turn. A banner was raised, movement was had, and I'm going to try out... Oh, there's a Blair there. Alright, so what we're going to do is this thing, changing up some things in the way we're going to record. So she's up to 4 command points. It is the bottom of turn 1 coming up next, and she didn't raise a banner. That was it. So there will be no points yet. That'll be coming up in the next turn. And we'll be back in just a minute after the Drukhari get to do what they get to do. All right, folks. It is now the end of battle round 1. The Drukhari had a much more fun turn than the sisters, but not necessarily because of all my shooting. These witches raised banners. The venom came this direction, popped up here, took some shots into... I think I put them into the Repentia, and I don't think it did any... Oh, it did kill one. I think the venom killed one, possibly. Then I used Fire and Fade. Oh yeah, I think it was 2. Fire and Fade, so it came down here, out of line of sight, unless she's going to move her scary Retributor squad through the building or whatever to get line of sight, which could happen, but at least I've got this on the objective. The Reaper jumped over, sitting on the objective as well. Did the blast shots into the Repentia and only killed 3, I think? 2 or 3 again. It was like both things killed 2 and 2, yeah. Then we went ahead and attempted a charge with the Reaper, failed it, command re-rolled it. So I actually went from 4 at the start of the turn, 4 command points, all the way back down to 1 because I re-rolled something else too. Oh no, I spent for Fire and Fade, re-rolled that, and I re-rolled a wound on the Repentia because I was trying to get rid of some of them. So that's how all that played out. Lelith, I was going to charge her into the Repentia, and then I decided probably not because she has Slay the Warlord, which could have been stupid. Lelith has a good 3-up invulnerable save, which is nice, but there's a lot of attacks when they charge. So anyways, I hoped to get the Reaper in to slow them down. It didn't work. Then we had the morale phase. I think Blair took out more Repentia with the morale phase. Well, not Blair, but the dice did than I did in the shooting phase. So I'm happy with that, and I'm not afraid to admit it. So that's where we sit. The Venom is kind of danger close to like the Canoness and Repentia, so is the Reaper and Lelith. So I mean, this next turn will be fun to watch because it's going to be spicy. So here's where we sit at the end of the turn. I'm at 1, she's at 4 command points. End of turn 1, neither of us scored any primaries or secondaries because that's just how it goes. But at the start of this turn, she'll at least get 1 for Raise the Banners. And hopefully she will not have Slay the Warlord at the end of this turn. We'll find out after we come back at the top of turn 2. All right, folks, Sister's turn 2 is over. This is where all the excitement was. The Retributors, I keep wanting to call them Redemptors, and that's not it, so I keep tongue-tying myself. We're actually in the box. They're looking through the windows. All of this building is like see-through for days. And apparently, if I hadn't mentioned how I was afraid of them coming through the building, Blair would have forgotten to put them in the building to shoot at me. So that was good on me. Boom goes the dynamite. This Venom is gone. I lost 2 witches trying to get out of the Venom. It's open top. It shouldn't be that hard to get out, but 2 died. They did not fail morale, so that was okay. Canoness moved forwards. She was 10 inches away, right? Or it's a 10-inch charge into the witches. Failed the charge. Got the reroll because that's her warlord trait. Still failed the charge. I was okay with that. Then the Retributor. No, Repentia. Wow, it's all the R's. They came over here trying to take down Miss Lelith, and she said, whatever, punks, and she killed him. It was great. I've never used Lelith, so I was very excited. She bounced off all their many wounds and then turned around and killed them both, and it was really neat. The Reaper took 2 wounds from the bolt guns. That was funny. So just good old-fashioned bolt guns, popped off 2 wounds. And over here, Mr. Mortifier moved up and is sitting on that objective, so Blair can score some points with that, but was not able to get line of sight onto the witches back here yet. So that is where we stand. She scored 1 for Raise the Banners and 5 for primary in that turn, and that is all there was to say for that turn. And we'll be back. Oh, she went up to 5 command points. Almost spent one on this command reroll for the charge, and then we remembered that was the Warlord trait, so she's still at 5 command points. And there we have it. So we'll be back in just a minute with Drukhari, turn 2. Alright, so Drukhari turn 2 is done. Witches moved forward, popped shots at the Mortifier, did nothing. The Reaper flew up on top of the hill, shot and killed the Mortifier. I did use a CP reroll on a wound to make sure it died, which I ended up needing because D3 plus 3 only did 4 wounds on the first roll. But in total I did 10 and it didn't shrug enough to stay alive. And then I fired and faded, so my 2 command points I started with at this turn were gone. And I fired and faded because I would like to hold that objective, and that causes me to have a better lead in points unless she brings things out to die, which you know, it is what it is. This over here was a little unfortunate. Well, they raised the banner, so I'm good with that. I charged Lelith into the Canoness, and I did take 2 wounds, right, on her, but that was it.
Oh yeah, you dealt
only
2.
Yeah, and then she died. Canoness hit back and said, "My relic's way cooler than your 1 damage, minus 4 AP attacks. Sucker!" And I was very sad. So anyways, Lilith's gone. Blair gets 6 points for Slay the Warlord. And I think that's it. Nothing else happened there. Not great for me to lose Lelith like that, but I really hoped with her rerolling wounds against characters and stuff that she would have killed the Canoness, but she did not. New model syndrome, right? That's kind of how that goes. So that is that. The turn's done. So this is where we sit. I had 10 for primary, 1 for raise the banner, so I'm at 11 at the moment. And then Blair will get to go for turn 3, and she'll score. It's going to be another 5 for primary, and another 1 for raise the banner. But now she's got Slay the Warlord, and that's going to help her a bit. I have a feeling my Reaper will now die. So we'll be back in just a minute at the top of turn 3 for Sisters. Alright, so the Sisters' turn is done. Much to nobody's surprise, I lost my Reaper. It did not explode. I actually lost 2 witches, but I just forgot to put a little marker down there to remind myself. So 2 of them died to bolter fire. This exploded. Oh, it didn't explode, sorry. It died, so I got the little boom marker. They didn't have anything happen. They just have dice so we can measure where they can move to. Over here, shocking charge was made by the Canoness, and for some reason my witch died from 8 attacks or whatever, exploding 6s, all that jazz. Yeah, I did make 2 saves. I'm proud of myself, but the other 4 that went through were 8 damage, so not really a chance there. Anywho, she did consolidate towards my remaining witches, which is... Those are the only thing that I have left on the table. I was gonna... Never mind. So the banner's been taken down. They move forward to be able to shoot because you don't have to stay on the objective. So in a weird turn of events, I'll still score 10 for primary because I actually held this one before they blew the Reaper off. Cool. It's kind of cheeky. So I don't know. It was a crazy game. My thinking that Linebreaker would be easy because I had a Venom, that was a lie. And yeah, there's no way to get Linebreaker because I don't even have 2 units left on the board. So we'll be back in a minute. The score as it stands at the moment. She had another 5 on primary. She's actually up to 6 command points because there's just not a lot to spend them on. Not when you have Miracle Dice, which that tray is getting rather full. It's disappointing. So yeah, she did score Engage on all fronts, raise the banner 1 more time, slay the Warlord, and that's that. So I will actually go up to a command point and I will score another 10 on primary. We'll be back in a minute after... for turn 3 for Drukhari. Alright folks, so Sister's turn is over. The Retributors, they just scooted forward and raised a banner. Nice for them. The Battle Sisters back here, they scooted forwards, then they went ahead and charged. The Canoness charged. You see lots of skulls because my witches just can't do much about that. And then because there's nothing left on the board now, the Sisters actually were able to consolidate away because you still get to consolidate. So that was kind of cool. So she gets the engage on all fronts because that puts 2 units on both of those halves of the table over there. And then the Canoness is on this side. And she could move forward this way too. But what's going to happen is they'll get one more chance to score at the end of this next turn, which obviously I won't do much, but I will still score, which is funny. Most likely means that Blair will win. She did definitely get more on secondaries for doing Slay the Warlord alone, and more for banners, but it's kind of weird. So at the end of the turn for Blair, we have, she got 15 on primary now total, 3 banners raised, Slay the Warlord, and then she's got to engage on all fronts twice, which she'll score one more time for engage on all fronts. She'll pick up, 1, 2... for raised banners, plus you can raise banners there, so what, another 4 for raised banners at the end of the game. Yeah, potentially could take down my other banner, so I might not score it, but I will score 5 for primary this turn, and then I'll score 1 more raised banner. Oh, and then she'll score primary also. So yeah, she'll definitely win this game. It's kind of funny. We'll go ahead and we'll do the score and all that, make it official on there, and see. I would assume she'll be able to move the Canoness enough to take my banner down. But if not, then we'll add that into the score as well. But that's it. I have been tabled at the top of turn 4, and Sisters will go on to win this one. So different from the last game we played, because I did beat the Sisters the last time we played, but that was with a 2,000 point list. So we'll be back in a minute. We'll summarize a recap and show you what the final scores are. Kind of fun. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, so that's it. Canoness did use a miracle die to get the full advance, to get onto the point, knocking down my banner, keeping me from scoring. I could have got 5 for primary there if you'd left that alone, plus another 1 for raised banners. Thank you very little. So she raised the banners over there. So that gave her, at the start of her turn, she got the 15 for primary. She had 2 banners currently raised, so she got 2 for that, plus this one. So at the end of the game scoring, she got an additional 3 for raised banners. Engaged on all fronts again. So at the end of the game, it became 60 points to 38, including the paint scoring. So it was a good game. We were just talking about it. Her Canoness was her MVP for the game, clearly. I misplayed with the Reaper. Putting it down over here with Fire and Fade to steal an objective was trying to just get myself more primary points, but I could have just as easily fired and faded back here to keep it out of line of sight, which I should have done in the long run, but trying to push her back from scoring, and it worked until turn 4. Then when everything died, it was like, wow, so much for that good plan. Yeah, so if I'd had the Reaper one more turn, there was still at least a potential to kill those Sisters, kill the Canoness in shooting, or go over here and mess with the Retributors, one or the other. But, you know, do it better later, do it better next time, whatever. So that's it, that was the game. Hope y'all enjoyed it. I had a fun time using Lelith, even though she died to the Canoness, which was kind of sad. So hopefully she'll get some better attacks or better damage output with her new model and new rules. And I would have to say, I don't know, none of my units did like fantastic, amazing stuff. The Reaper was good. I liked him. The Reaper did his job. He killed the Mortifier, killed a bunch of, well, helped kill some Repentia. So, you know, that was all right. I don't know. It was kind of a funny game. I would like to play this list that I brought again. I would play it differently, but it was fun, and it matched up pretty well with this. So the Sisters win. Pain versus Piety. Piety holds out. You know, it does what it does. Good job. Congratulations. But thank you for playing. Appreciate the game, and hope you guys enjoyed this battle report. This has been another Kitchen Table Wargaming battle report.